Welcome, Dominic here from kilowatt.ie, and in this video I'm going to look at whether or not it's a good idea to switch from a standard tariff to a smart tariff. And this applies particularly to people who have a smart meter but which is not activated, as they say. So in other words, you have a smart meter but you're still on a tariff that's for analog meters. This would happen in particular if you've got your meter changed recently and you didn't make any changes to your electricity contract. So the first factor to consider is the price of the tariffs. So we can go to kilowatt.ie and click on electricity comparison. So rural or urban for this example doesn't matter. Now the meter type is going to be smart meter configured as 24 analog or smart meter as day-night. Let's just use this for an example. And now for you to get the real, I'm going to do some examples and show you how things might work out, but to get the real most accurate results for you, for the way you use electricity, click here, upload smart meter data, and this link has all the information on how to access that data directly from ESB networks. It doesn't require any particular electricity supplier. In fact, it might not work. The data from the electricity supplier won't work for you. It needs to be from ESB networks directly, and you put that file in here. And this comparison will run specifically based on how you use electricity. But for this example, let's just go national average, compare, update. And here we see that in this case, the best value is a smart tariff. And a couple of rows down, we have the first non-smart tariff here, SSE electricity. Which is about, is it 80, 70 euros more expensive, something like that. But this is going to be case by case basis. I think actually, even in a case, there's no scenario currently that I can see where your options are worse with smart tariffs, because SSE electricity has this option here. So the cheapest standard flat day rate plan is this one from SSE electricity currently, and they have a version for people with activated smart meters that's exactly the same, which they have classified as a smart tariff to allow those people to use it, even though it's just got one flat unit rate, 24 hours. It's still classified as a smart meter tariff. It's just a little kind of a loophole, you could call it. But do run the analysis yourself, and you can do the exact same if you have a day-night meter. Okay, moving on. So that's price. It seems to be that this factor is leaning in favor of smart tariffs. Next thing to consider, before I go on from price, little caveat to consider. If you can move your electricity usage into the off-peak times, especially into the EV band on certain plans, this will improve the economics further for the smart meters. Okay, part 2, keeping options open. This counts in favor of non-smart tariffs, because once you switch from a non-smart tariff to a smart tariff, you are not allowed to switch back to a non-smart tariff. So let's just say, for example, if you did the analysis and it turned out that these were the best plans for you, which are in pricing terms, they're exactly the same, but one of them is classified as smart and the other is classified as non-smart. probably, in fact, I would strongly recommend you to stay with the non-smart version, because you can always change from the non-smart to the smart. You can never change back. So that's a vote in favor of non-smart tariffs, in terms of the rules currently only allow you to move in one direction. So you want to be sure about moving before you do so. Okay, part 3, data viewing. If you go for a smart tariff, depending on the electricity retailer that you go with, they might have a nice dashboard that you can use to view your smart meter data. So you can log into their website and see when you're using electricity and how much and what times of day and what bands, and it'll all be in a nice online dashboard. And in theory, this is a point in favor of going for a smart tariff. However, regardless of what supplier or what tariff you're on, anybody can access that data directly from ESB networks, and can go here on kilowatt.ie and more and smart meter data viewer, and anybody can see their own data in a dashboard there. Now, maybe it's a little bit less convenient, but not much. So this point is a very minor one. And finally, we have data security. So this is a vote in favor of non-smart tariffs. And you might wonder why, because ESB Networks has your smart meter data anyway if you're on a smart meter regardless of what plan you're on. If you have a smart meter data, then ESB Networks can access that. However, if you go for a smart tariff, then there's a second organization which gets that data, which is your electricity retailer. So the fact is, there's only one ESB Networks, and the chances are that data is pretty well secured. However, there are about 15 different electricity retailers. I can't remember the exact number, maybe 10, maybe 15, whatever. The risks of one of those at some point getting hacked and that smart meter data getting out is much higher. So so the fewer people that have that data, the better for data security. And that means if you stay on a non-smart tariff, that's one less organization that has access. So if you're wondering why this matters, smart meter data can reveal what time you wake up, when you go to bed, when you're on holidays, what kind of appliances you have and you use, etc. Someone who trawls through that can discover a significant amount. Plus your MPRN and maybe other things that I'm not thinking of right now. How many people are living in the household, they won't know for certain, but it could be estimated. It'd be possible to estimate if you were running a business or etc, etc, etc. So in terms of data security, again, that's a vote in favor of non-smart tariffs. That is everything. So just to summarize, basically, the main points in favor of non-smart tariffs are data security and keeping your options open. And the points in favor of smart tariffs are that it's likely to work out a little bit cheaper, or if you can shift your usage to times of day, particularly between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. For example, if you have an electric vehicle, you can charge. If you have a well-insulated water tank, that you can run the immersion and get a full tank of hot water that'll last you 24 hours. If maybe you have a storage heater of some sort, etc., 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 then the price difference then can actually be really meaningful, you know, a couple of €100 quite easily, or even more. So that is the vote in favour of a smart tariff. I hope this was useful for you. As mentioned, to get the most accurate results, go and analyze the data for yourself. At the end of the day, that's where the rubber hits the road. Thank you for watching this video, and goodbye for now.